All right, everyone, welcome to our Monday morning kickoff. We should be live now, so I am going to, before we even begin, I'm going to be checking our YouTube channel just to confirm that we are live and you guys are watching. And I have it confirmed. I can see us on my other screen, which is amazing. Happy Monday. I got Kathy and Jenny with me today. What's up, ladies? How are you?
Good morning.
Hey, it's a beautiful Monday.
It is a
Yes.
beautiful Monday. You know something? That's something that I was thinking about last night when I wanted to say this morning is oftentimes when we were growing up, Monday was like oh God, it's Monday day, right? And it was like, and I think that had a lot to do with we were in school, so we were like, we're growing up, we're like, oh, it's Monday, I don't want to go to school, mom, but and I think that stays with some people. Like some people actually maybe they don't like where they're working, maybe they don't like what they do, maybe they're not excited about the week, maybe whatever it is it's going, or maybe they just live the most perfect, beautiful life and have the best job in the world, but it's habitual for them to go, oh no, it's Monday, right? And in my head, I fucking love Mondays. Like I love Monday because it means that we're back in action and I'm excited again. I don't know about you guys.
It resets the whole week, And let me tell you, I tell my team I used to actually be every Monday in pajamas, just catching up with starting the week, what I'm going to be doing, what didn't happen over the weekend, what contracts we need to follow up with. It's kind of like the reset of a new day, of a new week, of everything. So I'm with you 100%. I love Mondays actually because it just gets us, to where we need to be for the rest of that week.
Yeah, I agree with you. I personally like, you said you like working your pajamas. I can't do that. If I stayed in my pajamas, I'd be like trying to go back to sleep all the time. So like I my office is like 4.5 feet from my bedroom, okay? And different rooms, but like I walk out my bedroom and I walk right in my office, right? But man, I gotta wake up in the morning, I gotta take a shower, I gotta get dressed. I put on cologne, I put on my hat, get ready. Like I'm going to work, baby. You know what I mean? And that just makes me feel like I'm pumped up for the week,
And you're absolutely right, David, about that, preconceived notions that we have of Mondays. And it's interesting that you mentioned that because honestly, I pretty much can say that I was always like that too. But now I'm not. Now, in real estate and in it's kind of changed because now I do feel more like what Jenny's saying. You wake up at morning and you're just looking forward for what that week has to bring, right? And all you want to set up and the meetings that you have, and it kind of becomes like exciting. Like what's going to happen this week? What am I going to do this week? What am I going to accomplish? What's the surprise going to be? And I think that makes a huge difference. And
I love that you just said that because I think that if you're waking up on Monday morning and you're not excited for what that week's going to bring, maybe you're doing something wrong, right? Maybe this is a wake up call for you. Maybe you have this really cool opportunity right now to hear what we're saying and go, maybe I should, like, I don't know, make more appointments or schedule myself to meet with more people or, plan more events or, just something that will like be like, all right, this week's the week that I have these like 5 like meetings with people and could turn into business and could like, put bank in the bank.
And I'm going to tell you, I think that one of the important reasons why I have said Mondays, I'm not going anywhere. I don't schedule inspections. I don't schedule appraisals. I don't schedule showings. It's because we do need that day. We do need that day to regroup and to say, okay, well, what am I going to do for that rest of the week to be able to get in new business? Because we find ourselves sometimes in the busy work of things, and yeah, there's deals going on and we're attending to them. But what are you doing really to get new business? And if you don't start the week off with that mindset already, then it's just going to get busier throughout the week. And I think, like Kathy was saying, we don't have a set schedule. Like, I think the only thing I do on a daily basis is almost identical every single day is drink my coffee. And that's it. I mean, everything else is like, we're up for grabs. Hey, you need me right now? Hey, this needs to be done. It's like, we don't have a set schedule whatsoever, right? Luckily, we could take our phones with us and our business goes with us. That's the wonderful thing about life. Even right now, I'm in my Keys house and a little bit we'll be jumping on the boat and we'll still be working. But But the truth is that we can still do whatever we need to do, but we do need to set our mindset. I think it's really a lot about the mindset and getting into the routine of following some kind of schedule, even though we don't have anything daily that's ever going to be the same. No deal is ever the same, no transaction, nothing. So it's just up to us to also kind of follow ourselves and what we need to set for the week
Yeah, I
ahead.
agree with you. When we have coaching clients, we oftentimes talk to them about really having an organized schedule, which is very different from a set schedule, right? Like a set schedule is a job. You got to be there at 9 o'clock. You get to leave at 6 o'clock. You get this hour lunch. That's a set schedule. And what you do in the middle is what you do for work, right? But for us, we need to have more of an organized schedule. And if you want to really get funny about it, it's like organized chaos, right? Sometimes you just don't know what the week's going to throw at you. I don't know how you guys run your weeks. Maybe you could give like some examples to people. My week is very much like Mondays is my meeting day. So I have several meetings on Mondays. And because we run several operations, so we try to connect with them every Monday. And then on Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my coaching days. Thursdays are kind of like an open setup for real estate coaching, whatever it is. And then Fridays is my day, believe it or not. And I've had Fridays as my day for, maybe a decade almost. Where like Friday morning, listen, if a hitman was after me, he would know exactly where I'm going to be on Friday morning. Like Friday mornings is my haircut. Friday mornings, sometimes I grab lunch in the Gables. Sometimes I do things and I'll schedule 1, 2, even 3 short 30-minute calls on a Friday. And then I'm done. And yes, I'll do emails and maybe I'll attend a course that I'm paid for that I want to learn or something like that. But it's not a very heavy day for me. How about you guys? Like, how do you run your schedule?
Well, for me, I usually start, I would say really on Fridays. I try to already have my schedule set for the following week. So in mind, it may not be tentative, right? It may not be solid, but at least I try to figure out what I'm going to do for the following week. Whereas Tuesdays is really where I do my meetings, my meeting days. If I have any important meetings, Zoom calls, whatever, it's going to be on Tuesdays. Mondays is really motivational. This call, listening to Robert and organizing and kind of like really, following up to make sure that the meetings are going to happen on Tuesday and everything else that I have scheduled or whatever is going to happen. So that's pretty much what the Monday is for me. Wednesdays, I kind of leave a little bit open because, and obviously the nights are kind of open because, you never know when you're going to have showings and things like that. And that's going to always transpire throughout the week. Thursdays are the days to be out in the community for me, whether that is visiting new construction sites or, new projects or, going to networking events, whatever. That's my Thursday. And Friday is also open. It's open, for any meetings that, people couldn't do during the week or whatnot. And, and then pretty much that's it for me.
Awesome. What about you, Jenny?
It's been 20 years, but you know what? You just continue to do the same thing consistently. And I say it all the time. We don't have to reinvent the wheel in real estate. We just got to follow it. And being consistent about things is really what it's all about. So Mondays, like I said, it's my PJs day, just to even get dressed up for you guys this morning was a little some. No, but Mondays is just, yeah, thank you. It's just that
funny.
day where I regroup. There's so many little things that happen over the weekend, like I had mentioned earlier, where we're just trying to say, okay, well, that open house, that, follow up with the open house contacts, because that's what weekends are for, right? People think in this real estate business, you don't work on weekends. No, we work on weekends. Okay. We have open houses and then you got to follow up with that. And then we have, what's going to be ahead for the week as far as, again, what are you doing to make new business? Are you reaching out to people? Are you, going to an event? Okay, that's great. You went to the event last week, but then what did you do? Did you follow up with those business cards? Did you interact with those people?
Yes.
For me, it's my friends and family are my referral business. So what if something happened over the weekend, which is usually what happens for me? We went to a birthday party, we went to church, we went out on the water, we did something. And somewhere in those communications is where we're building our business. And that really is a lot of what needs to start then transpiring. Maybe there was a conversation that you need to follow up on. Tuesdays for me is my team meetings day. Shout out to my group who's watching. And, team meetings for me is really important because it also is what's structuring other agents on what they're going to be doing for their business and what they need to be doing for the rest of the week. So that's big Tuesdays for me. Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays is really just making sure that we're following through what we set for Monday. If you wake up on Wednesday morning and you haven't done anything that's on that to-do list, so I am old school. I like my to-do list. I have it on my phone. I do my little notes and it's got bubbles on them. And it just makes me feel so good when I just mark them off because it got done, because you can have all these ideas, but if you're not actually doing them and following through with them, then
Absolutely.
what, I've got people that'll say, oh yeah, we're going to follow up and we're going to follow up. Well, how are you actually following up? What are you doing that is actually, are you calling them? Are you texting them? What happened after that text? What happened after that call? And again, we get so busy in the day to day. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I know I suffered from, the fact that nobody thought that I worked for many years, because you have to be accessible to moms and grandmas and sisters and little kids. And it's like, what do you do? Well, you're here for everybody, but you also got to make sure, and this is my biggest trick, I have a cleaning lady every Monday for 18 years, since practically my daughter was born, I have had a cleaning lady. Why? Because if I'm going to spend $150, $200 on my life a week, that gives me the opportunity to make $2,000 and $3,000, instead, because of the fact that we can make money.
Know your worth, baby. Know your
Yes,
worth.
100%.
Time value over
A really
time
good point.
management.
Really
We
good
So
point.
say it all the
every
time.
Monday-
Time value over time management.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And so that to me is a Monday thing, believe it or not. Some people like their house clean on Friday. No way. My kids are home and my husband's home on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So I want to start my week off with a nice, clean, fresh house. So as I'm in pajamas overlooking what is happening in my house, I'm working while they're working as well. And it just gives me like a fresh feel, to my week being house cleaned, kids get home from school, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of my week. And weekends I
That's a
have
great
taken
tip.
off. Yeah, weekends I've mentally taken off. We travel, we do things, but mentally we don't cut off. So I guess the word is I physically take off on weekends, but mentally and sometimes obviously physically with phones and text messages, I don't
Yeah,
get
of
away.
course.
But that is our family time now.
Look at this. This is something based on what you said. I just posted this yesterday. I don't know if you can see it. But basically what it says is to be successful at anything, you don't have to be different. You just simply have to be what most people are not. Consistent.
I saw that this morning.
Determined, and willing to work for it. Right. So everything you just said, it like fell right in line with that. So I've been holding my phone. I was like, oh, I can't wait. We're talking the same language. Right. So
that is right.
And look, we got Jen Kurz on the line with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Love
What's up,
seeing you
Mrs.?
guys up here.
Any
love
tips
being
on
with you guys.
scheduling or anything like that you want to give folks out there so that they can feel real good about what they're doing this week?
I feel like oftentimes we get distracted or our time gets pulled by our personal things, and waking up early in the morning is so important. I mean, for me, it has been the biggest way for me to run my day. It's just being able to wake up early and have my breakfast and go to the gym and do a little bit of me first, and then be able to handle everything else. And, time management, like everybody else has said here, I have to take the kids to school. So I already know what time it takes for my day. And then I just plan everything else from there. Mostly is emails early in the morning. The earliest you can get to the emails, the better, because then the rest of the day you're more productive. So I have a bad habit though of waking up in the morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning and first thing open up my phone and see if I got any emails or something. And I've had to like kind of take a step back on that as well, because you also don't want to ruin your personal time by letting other people know that you're available around your personal time. So if you wanted to, you can also schedule it. Now we have the capacity to schedule out emails, responses, which I haven't done automatically, because that's something you have to like mentally like
be ready for.
put yourself through that.
But you're still
I think
you're still in it. But
Yep.
you're still in it, right?
Yep.
like that's like, I think that's the thing that you want to avoid is, even if you sit there and you start to schedule emails out for 9 o'clock, you're still in it. Now it's not your time anymore. Now you're giving it away. Right.
Exactly.
And that,
Really
I
good
think
point.
that's a big piece. I have trained myself. I don't pick up my phone till 9 o'clock. And what I mean by that is, yeah, I'll put on music. Sometimes I put on like a YouTube. I listen to like Ben Shapiro, or I listen to, some motivational stuff, or I listen to Tony Robbins, or whatever the case is. But I'm not in the mix of work, because the second that I open up that Gmail app and my emails pop up and it goes, brrr, that's it, dude. Your morning's done.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love when I wake up in the morning and I've got like 10 text messages just alone from the night before.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, those are the ones that it's like, well.
Yeah, it's so important that you protect that personal time. Just because you're starting the week strong doesn't mean you don't have a personal time during the week. If you don't take personal time every single day, you'll try to do it in the middle of your workday.
Yep.
Which will then affect you. So it's really important to take that personal time. Usually you want to do it early in the morning when everybody else is sleeping. When nobody can bother.
Like reading, like also reading whatever book, whatever material you're reading, for self-improvement, or whether it's financing, anything you want to learn about, or whether it's a course or whatever. That is a perfect time to do it. It feels so good.
It's before everybody wakes up. It's before anything happens.
Yeah.
Your neurons are pumping at full 100% value. Your body's rested and ready to rock and roll. Like, even though you feel tired when you wake up, like, it doesn't take much, if you really think about it, from the time you put your feet on the ground and by the time you wash your face, brush your teeth and stuff like that, you're up, you're ready. Like what's the next step? And imagine if you consume during that time. That's why I said during that time, I'll turn on YouTube or something that I want to consume, that I want to understand. Yeah, I'm 100% with you.
I also find that in this industry, guys, I mean, we are all, super high level workers doing what we need to do. But I'm also seeing that in this industry, we hand things out to people on a silver platter. We give them exactly what they need to be doing, and they just don't. So as much as, yes, this personal time is great for someone like us, and we're like, okay, can I get at least 5 minutes up in here? But for the most part, everybody's just taking all day to do their stuff. Everybody's on the YouTube. Everybody's on, their personal time more than they're on their work time. And that's what we actually need to just address. And people, just because you don't have a 9 to 5 that you got to punch that, card in, doesn't mean that you shouldn't be working 9 to 5, 8 to 10. I mean, I work all day. And it's funny because we say that we work all day too, but yeah, we're doing things, but it's also the just because you're in your house, you shouldn't be doing your dishes. You shouldn't be doing your laundry. You shouldn't be doing things around the house because you're there.
Very easy to get distracted with that.
And that's where I think people are just mistaken with what they're actually doing on a daily basis. I ask people all the time, track yourself. What are you doing for real? Like, what are you doing for at minimum 8 hours a day? Because if not, you're going to have to switch that to go work for somebody else. And that's why we have so many people in this industry running back to jobs, is because they never really did 8 hours of work, of real estate work. Yeah. So personal time is great, but I mean, how much personal time are you really doing? How much did you not respond to that client? People are not waiting, guys. We're in a now era. We've been in a now era. I mean, if I don't respond to that text message, while I'm in the theater, I mean, people think, oh, she's not working. She's not doing what she needs to be doing, So, I mean, you gotta find that.
Listen, it's a tricky situation, but I'll tell you something right now, and then we'll close this out with some of the comments that have come through. But, I also believe that you have to train the people that work with you, right? Because, we are professionals, and we tend to forget that sometimes. We think that we are at your service, right? And we're in the service industry, but we're not at your service, madam, right? Like, we're not serving the king and queen of Europe, right? And so we need to train people the way doctors train people, the way lawyers train people, the way, listen, my lawyer, if it's an emergency, maybe I could get him at 9 p.m. Otherwise, I just got to wait till his office opens. Period. End of story, right? And these are high paid individuals. These are $400, $500 an hour people,
Yeah.
Train your people on how you operate, and they will respect that. But here's what happens if you're consistently on them and you don't give yourself your time, right? Then you're training them that you're always available and that you have no personal life. So please just take all my time, right? And so you got to be very careful with that. It's a tricky balance. I do believe that some clients are, they need more than other clients. You have to balance yourself out and understand that. And that's your job to go do, We got Guy Courtney watching. Guy, thanks for watching. Kevin Tyson's on here. Lori Lincoln, who tunes in every Monday. Appreciate you guys. Guy Courtney says a lot of coffee. Lori says this morning, I found myself dwelling in the lack of the morning. It was tough to come out of it. This is a huge help. Being grateful for what we have. That's awesome. Mondays make the week kick off. Juan in a Million says, Christian says, follow up is where most agents miss a ton of business. He also mentioned that so many agents don't know how to prioritize their personal time versus work time. They feel like if they don't reply to messages right away, even at crazy late hours, they'll miss out. Something that we were just discussing right now. Guy says time blocking protect your time and your money-making activities. And then Christian says, yes, definitely train the people. Give them the user's guide to me, LOL, which I think is pretty cool, right? We should write that, Christian. We should write that. We should create that pamphlet, the user's guide to me, right?
I like that.
Can you imagine, right? Going to buyer's consultations and listing appointments and going, hey, this is everything that I do. You're really hiring me? Okay, sign here. Here's the user's guide to how to operate with me, right? This is who I am. That's amazing. Look, what I heard today, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't pull this all together, love Mondays, man. Mondays are great. And if you're not loving Mondays, then that means you're doing something wrong. How can you fix what you're doing wrong? Prepare for the week and give yourself something to do. As humans, we cannot be still. As human beings, we are tribal, which means we need to be around people. And psychologically, we cannot allow ourselves to fall into the trap of not doing things, because as human beings, the less that we do, the more alone we become. The more alone that we become, the more depressed we become with ourselves. So stay busy and keep moving. How do you do that? Don't expect people to remember you. Go out there and tell them who you are and what you do. Make a noise. Make noise. Go see some people, right? Another thing, not working on your calls. And this is a contact sport, ladies and gentlemen. You're in sales, okay? So if it's a contact sport and you're not making contacts, you're not winning at this sport. And follow up with the people who express interest. Jenny mentioned it earlier, going to these events, you're taking business cards. And what do they become? They become a stack of business cards on your desk somewhere, or in a kitchen counter, or in your closet, or whatever the case is. I know, because I get stacks of them everywhere. But what I do with my business cards, just God bless me, I have leverage. I have an assistant, and so I take my business cards, I snap a photo, I send it to them, they put it in my calendar, and I know what I'm doing next, right? They go into my campaigns and things of that nature. So ladies and gentlemen, go out there and do what needs to be done so that you never have a boring week, right? Do what needs to be done so when you wake up Monday morning, you're like, let's go. I'm going to get on this Monday kickoff call at 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to rock and roll. I appreciate you guys tuning in with us today. Usually we go 15 minutes. We're 23 minutes in, and if you're still watching, super excited. That means, Kathy, Jenny, and Jen did an amazing job. And I'm really excited to have you ladies on here with me doing this today. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you next Monday. Again, if you're not registered to be on these calls just yet and you happen to run into this, we've had this ticker on the bottom of the screen. Just register at freedommondaykickoff.com. If you go to freedommondaykickoff.com, it's just going to ask you for your name, email, phone number, and you'll just get a notification reminder of where you can catch us, what the YouTube channel is, and all that other good stuff. If you have any questions for any of the people on this screen right now, just go ahead and type it in that YouTube, and our team will put you in contact with whomever you want to be in contact with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all take care, and we'll see you soon.
Have a great one. Bye, guys.
Have a great week, everybody.
Ahead.
Yes.